Alright, so Willis brought his transmission over and we ripped it apart real quick. We like to never got the sun shell out of it. It was stuck good. And then the rear planetary gear set, we like to never got it out of the output shaft. I don't know what caused this, but look at that. Look at that, there's chunks going out of it. Seeing that sun shell, it rides down in here on these gears. And then those gears go down in the output shaft there. But yeah, it's, look at that. It has ate those up. I don't know why it would do that. I mean, all of them are like that. That's why the sun shell wouldn't come out, because the sun shell goes down inside here.
Yeah.
That's why it was all stuck. And it would make a whining, grinding noise in first and reverse mainly. He said it started making it in second when he drove it home. I was hoping it was the torque converter, because the torque converter could do that too. But rear planetary gear set, I believe that's what this is called. So it's going to have a new one of those. It don't look like it hurt the teeth in here. Grab the sun shell. Let's make sure it didn't hurt none of the teeth on it. Maybe it did a little. What would cause that, guys? Y'all know? Yeah, there's a little bit of wear right there. But yeah, they got this too.
Did it?
A little bit. I mean, we can get another one of these. You can probably get them on eBay for 30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks at the most. And then we'll stick it down in there and make sure it spins nice and smooth.
That's too bad to put back in.
This is shot.
That one is, both of them?
This is shot.
Oh, I know, I'm talking about that. The output shaft.
I forget what that's called, but yeah, that's part of it. But see, this goes down in here. That's why we like to never got this sun shell out. See, it goes, oh, it goes down in here, see?
Okay.
Like that. Check these gears out. Really good. See, and that's why his car was all over the place. Sometimes it would just lose like a whole
Sometimes a tenth.
And I mean, that car was running. You wouldn't believe how consistent that car was running. It blew my mind. It would run the same exact number in the 8th mile every time, and just about every time in the quarter mile too.
Quarter mile, well, both, yeah. Actually, it's more consistent in the quarter mile.
I mean, it would run the same exact number every pass, and then all of a sudden, it started just like up to a tenth off. And we thought maybe it was getting false knock or something, so I turned down the knock sensitivity in the tune, and then it ran its slowest pass.
808.
And then we put an older tune back in it, and then he went up there and he was looking all funny, so I walked over there and he's like, jump in and listen to this. And I jumped in and listened to it, and first and reverse, like a whining, grinding noise is what it made. But you go to second and it went completely away. Yeah, that looks alright. The only thing the best thing to do, and the cheapest option, is to replace this and put it back together and make sure it spins right. Because when I was spinning it, it was supposed to spin. Well, the output shaft should have spun both ways. It wouldn't spin one way, it'd spin the other. As far as we had it taken apart. Well, it should spin it both ways regardless. One way is a little bit harder than the other. But it wouldn't spin backwards. Yeah, it wouldn't spin backwards at all. And this right here, it took us, I don't know, about 30 minutes just to get this out. And we fought with it. Finally, we took the tail housing off, and Willis grabbed hold of the output shaft and kept wiggling it, and I grabbed it, and and I started pulling on it. I felt it turn. I was like, oh, it's coming out, because it turns when it comes out of them gears. So them gears were stuck in there or something, but I pulled it and was turning it, and it eventually came out. But we tried putting a punch down in here, and I pulled forward, and Willis would hit it with a punch this way, and it wasn't coming out, man. We fought with that. Finally it come out, and then I had to pry with a big screwdriver. I had to pry this out of there, and that should have just lifted right out of there. But yeah, what would cause that, guys? I mean, the bushing is brand new. Look at it. So it wasn't a bushing issue, and the bushing in the case, we'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's brand new too. That one must have stayed in the transmission. But yeah, what do you guys think? I wish I got a video of it making a noise, but look at that. It's like something got in there and just rode right on them teeth. Lower planetary gear set. I believe that's what it's called. I'm not good with nomenclature, guys. Oh, was it this one? It shouldn't have been that one.
It was that one because I had that little looking clip with it. That one goes on the other side probably.
Well, that one's falling apart. Is there any bearings in that? That's what happened.
Right there's what happened. This bearing failed. That bushing or whatever failed.
Yeah, this bearing failed. Yeah, there they are, right there. There it is. This bearing failed and got up inside the gear set. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. This bearing, we found the issue. Well, I'm glad we pulled that out of there because it looked like it was in good shape. This bearing failed, and all these pieces of bearing got up inside there. See it? So like I was saying, I was like, something must have got up in there. And look. So them little pieces right there got up inside here. That's what happened. That's what happened, Willis. Sunshell looks okay. I think this is okay too, but we'll have to get all them bearings out of there. We're going to have to buy one of these. So it wasn't nothing I did. We just had a bad bearing. The bearing failed.
The bearing fell apart.
Well, there you have it, guys. Why did Willis's Turbo 350 fail? That's why. We'll get her fixed.
What's it called? A planetary? Rear planetary?
It's a rear planetary set and the rear planetary bearing, I guess. I don't know the nomenclature on these things. Guys, I can take them apart and I can put them together and I can change the seals and I can change the clutches and I can check and inspect everything. But I tell you one thing I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start looking at them bearings a little bit better. Because I'll be honest with you, when we put that back together, I don't even think I looked at that bearing. I usually don't even take it out of there.
Everything looked good back to that point, I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll order a rear planetary gear set. We'll stick it down in the output shaft and we'll make sure it spins good. If it does, we'll put it in. We'll put the sunshell in, make sure it goes in smoothly, and make sure it spins good. And if all that, and price the bearing, of course. And if all that works,
that should do it.
That should do it.
Hopefully be back to racing pretty soon.
I think I got oil on my thing. Got anything to add, Willis, besides that?
I don't know, man. These race cars, it's just one thing after another. If you're not in it, you're not gonna be in it very long.
Yeah.
Cause it's all the time something. You gotta be committed to it if you're gonna race.
All right, so Willis went to go get some parts for his transmission. I guess a guy had some parts laying around for a Turbo 350, so hopefully we can throw that back together here in a little bit. But Austin, I've been tuning on his car and it's it's tuning really good. It's working really good. I can sit here and blip the throttle in it and reverse or drive, and it just smokes the tires. It needs the throttle cracked open a little bit more so I can get the idle air counts, idle air control counts where I want them. But his, number one, it's hard to get in there with all that crap he's got up there. Number two, it don't want to move. I finally got a good bite on it and got the right Torx bit that fit it, and it wouldn't turn. But it does. I just put a little hanging idle in there, so it keeps it from trying to die when it comes back down. But yeah, I just we did what I did before, and then I just messed with the fuel tables, looking at the wideband gauge, and got it where I wanted it. The starter's dragging. This starter drug before, but let's see if we can get it to start. That does better to shut that off. That's the fuel pumps and the fan. That's the ECM. That starter drug on another car. Once they don't drag, it starts right up. But they got to hang a little as it comes down. But the turbo drain is leaking a little bit of oil. I don't know if it's just loose or what. But it's raining, so we can't really test drive it. Well, we can drive it back and forth. How about that? Look, that board moved from power braking it. There was no gap there. We'll see how it does when we put her in gear. Pepe. This spins the tires so easy. See, it's spinning the tires right there. It's barely hitting the gas. Barely hit the gas. It's spinning. Man, that does good. It spins so easy. It's raining outside, so I'm afraid to drive it in the rain. I mean, it's got street tires on it, but God almighty, the rear end's locked. But still, it spins easier in my car, that's for sure. I don't know. But yeah, I scaled the tables, and I've never really done that on HP tuners, so I don't know what the timing's going to be at, in boost. So we need to fix there's a transmission leak where the dipstick tube goes in. He bought one of them cheap ones and it don't want to seal. We got to fix that oil leak. It needs some power steering fluid, and it leaks brake fluid. So we need to figure all that out. And then we have to run the wastegates, which I guess we could control it on spring pressure if we want to just change springs out. But we need to run the wastegate pressure to the turbo, or one of the intake pipes that go from the turbo to the intake. And other than that, man, this thing gonna be ready to race. Yes, sir. I think that's about all I'm going to do today. Me and TJ did some cam bearings on a 6.2. I don't make a video of everything I do. I went and tuned on a buddy's car, a Mustang with an LS swap in it. I didn't make a video of that. They seemed weird when I turned the camera on. They were trying to dodge it, so I just said, nah, they probably don't want to be on camera, so didn't make a video of that. But yeah, hopefully we'll get this one to the racetrack pretty soon. Get mine to the racetrack, see how the Rebel's gonna do, and then hopefully get Willis's transmission fixed and get his to start being consistent again, so he can start winning those bracket races again. He was tearing it up, man, until that transmission started messing up and it was throwing his times all over the place. And we thought I thought it was picking up false knock or something, because it seemed to do it mostly in the 60 and the 330 foot, but it was that transmission. It just, I guess one of them bearings would get in there and it'd slow him down. Then finally the bearing just fell apart and started going all over it, and that was the end of that. But it's making max 1 pound of boost. Took Austin's car for a little test drive. It idles and cruises fine. It's really peppy down low, but it don't have what it should have at wide open throttle. It's only making 1 pound of boost. He said it's supposed to have a 3 pound spring on there, but when we had the wastegates off and I was pushing on them, usually a 3 pound spring, you can push that plunger back in there pretty easy with your thumbs. Well, not real easy, it's kind of hard, but 7 or higher pound spring, it's really hard to push that in there. But a 3 pound spring, you can usually push it in there with your thumbs. And I wasn't able to even push on it, but even with a 3 pound spring, with the boost going to the bottom of the wastegate to help open it up to lower the boost, a 3 pound spring should make 1 to 2 pounds of boost. 1 to 3 pounds of boost, actually. And it made 1 pound of boost, so I thought it was just the boost controller. So usually if you take that pressure away from the bottom of the wastegate, that 3 pound spring should make 4 to 6 pounds of boost. So I took that away and drove it again. It still only made 1 pound of boost. I think it might have a misfire or something, not firing on all cylinders, because I was looking over the log and it was getting a lot of knock for some reason, and the timing was perfect. The timing was where it should be. The air-fuel ratio was where it should be. So I don't know what's going on with it. And fire it up here. I do that to get the fuel pressure, and then well, starter is still dragging. Got a misfire. It ain't firing on all 8 cylinders. I went ahead and pulled the codes off of it. The mass airflow, that's going to go off because we have it turned off, and it just goes off because just the way we got it set up. It goes off on my car. Well, mine's a Rebel now, but yeah, it went off before. And fuel level sensor, transmission fluid, that ain't even hooked up. So I'll go ahead and turn those codes off too, 463 and 713. But it gets a lot of knock for some reason. It's because the cylinder's misfiring. I'm going to put the cylinder misfires in here and see if we can see anything from that. Make sure the firing order is set correctly inside the tunes, because sometimes it ain't, oddly enough. But yeah. And oddly enough, now it don't even want to idle. It was idling a while ago. I didn't see it throw any here, but look, even just cranking it, it's getting spark knock. Which is odd, because there's not a lot of time in there, see? Not very much time in it at all for it to get spark knock. I don't have the wideband turned on, but yeah, it's got a miss somewhere. It won't even idle now, and this ain't working for some reason. But yeah, it won't even idle now. Making a liar out of me. And now it's not getting spark knock. It's not knocking it on now. It's idling good. A while ago it wouldn't idle. Something ain't right. That's weird. A while ago it wouldn't even idle. I couldn't make it idle. Now it idles all by itself. Spark knock at idle a while ago, now it's not getting spark knock at all. Oh, there it is, one right there. It like comes and goes. I don't know what's going on. That one ain't getting no heat in it. Check the other side. That one was just getting hot because all the tubes around it. The coil's not even firing for some reason. So coil, spark plug, or injector. These little things come in handy. I paid 30 bucks for that at Ace. And it's not the most accurate thing, but it's good enough to tell you if cylinders are misfiring. What are you supposed to be? Let me shine it at my forehead for a little bit. My temperature's at least 90, 97. It's a few degrees off, but it's good enough to tell you if you have a misfire. For 2 cylinders not firing, that thing runs pretty good. Alright, so here's what I've done so far. I took that coil that wasn't firing, cylinder number 1, and I put it over here just to make sure it wasn't in the wiring harness. Well, I put it over here, it's still not firing, so it's the coil. I put an X on it so I know which one it is. On this side, the coil's firing, so I took the spark plug out, checked the spark plug. I did a compression test. Compression test come up to about 155 psi, which is good. Now, you're supposed to check them all, and they're all supposed to be within a certain range of each other. I put different plugs in both of them, and then that didn't fix it. So I did a voltmeter on the coils. One's power, one's ground, and I seen if it fluctuated. It fluctuated just as good as this front one. So I took some alligator clips and wires and ran them from over here to over here, and this had fuel pressure, and I energized that injector, and that fuel pressure went down. So the injector is working and opening. It did fill the cylinder up with fuel, so I took the spark plug out, turned it over, blew all that out, and then put the spark plug back in. Everything's working like it should. The only thing I can think of is that's just spraying not enough fuel or spraying way too much fuel. I took the injectors off. This was one of the good ones. There's a little screen in there. Here's the bad one. There's the problem right there. So we gotta get these injectors cleaned. Look at that. Jeez, oh Pete's. Need to cool and clean the injectors. I'm at the junkyard down the road. 60 bucks. Alright, sent the injectors off to get clean. That's gonna be like 80 bucks. And we got some different coils for 60 bucks. Only need one of them, but now we have some spares. Then once we get the bearing for the Turbo 350, we'll throw that back together, and once we get the injectors back and get that other coil on, we'll double check the AFR, make sure that that's going to be good still. And Austin needs to fix some wire routing in the car and mount the computer, and he's got a transmission leak at the dipstick, and he's got a brake leak that he needs to address, and he needs to get some slicks, and that one should be ready, hopefully. Hopefully we don't run into no more issues. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.